Hey guys, here for Empire, Season 3, Episode 3, What Remains is Bestial, and I was definitely looking forward to this episode. I've been enjoying the season so far. I really didn't know what this episode was going to be like, because like I said, last week's episode was a bit of a slower one. And right off the bat, there definitely was so much more going on in this episode, and I enjoyed this episode actually a little bit more than last week's episode, despite there still being a few things that I really wasn't a fan of. I'm overall really enjoying the season, but let's just get into this episode because I really did like it overall. So, we start off, and I really, to be honest with you guys, I don't care what's going on with Lucius and Anika. I really don't. I think it's dumb. I think it's stupid, and to me, it seems like they're just doing way too much to make Lucius seem like a horrible person. Now, I get that the season is all about Lucius going to his lowest points and things like that, but I feel like they need to at least do something different than with Lucius than just have him mess with everyone. We see we're at Lucius' office, and Anika pays him a visit and wants to talk. Lucius is stressed. He's watching the extreme numbers on the computer. If he doesn't hit 10 million subscribers in a few days, then the board wants to pull the plug on the project altogether, and he'll end up losing $50 million, which obviously, I mean, that definitely is a big, it's a large amount of money, definitely. It really is a lot, and Anika whines to Lucius that she still feels like a prisoner in his house, and she wants to get back to work. She begs Lucius to consider giving her the A&R job at Empire, and Lucius starts breathing hard and laughing. She thinks that he's, there's some bad going on with him. She's like, do I have to call the hospital? And then Pia, this girl, she climbs out from under his desk. Anika stomps out, and I thought that was kind of a dumb scene, just seeing the way that was done. I don't know, I guess Lucius was getting his dick sucked. I don't really know what was going on there, but that was kind of a weird scene. And everything going on with Anika and Lucius, I really don't care, because I think Lucius and Cookie is the more interesting feud going on right now, because Lucius heads to the office, he corners Cookie, and he says he needs 5 new songs by the end of the week, or else Xtreme is going to tank, which is insane. 5 new songs, I mean, Lucius gives Cookie a set of keys and tells her whichever artist can deliver a song by the end of the week will get a car, and Lucius wants to release Jamal's album too, and Cookie blows him off, says that she has to get ready for a date with Angelo Dubois, and we really start to see a lot going on between Cookie and Angelo that I do like seeing, but as we know, Jamal doesn't want to do the Black and White album, and Lucius is still so insistent on him doing it, and Lucius just can't stand the Cookies hanging out with Angelo, so Lucius actually snags one of Angelo's kids of the group home, and convinces him to come record in the studio. You know, this is the kid that performed at the event for I believe it was like the fundraiser or something, the thing that Jamal was going to sing at, but he didn't, and Lucius really wants this kid to perform. He actually does see something in him, and I thought it was interesting to see that, but obviously he's there to mess with Cookie, we definitely see. So meanwhile, Jamal's at the PTSD meeting, and I like seeing that he actually is getting help now. You know, he's going to this meeting, he wears a baseball hat, basically because he doesn't want to be seen. You know, he wants to protect his cover, because he just doesn't really want to be bombarded with questions, and everyone recognizes him. The group leader tries to get him to talk about what happened to him, and let me just say, the Jamal stuff in this episode I thought was definitely one of the best arcs. I really am liking what's going on with him so far. The group leader tries to get him to talk about what happened to him, but Jamal refuses, and after the group meeting, the leader, Philip Barrett, follows Jamal outside, tries to talk to him, but Jamal just rushes off. He can't talk about it. I mean, and that's understandable. I mean, especially with what Jamal's gone through, he just sees something, he thinks of a gun, and I think the way they're really getting us into Jamal's head, really letting us see what he's feeling, is really adding to this plot overall, because I really do feel bad for Jamal in this situation. I mean, it's a tough situation that he's in. With anything he hears, he thinks of a gun, and I thought that definitely was really sad to see, but definitely some of the best stuff in this episode, like I said, has to do with Jamal, and I really like what we saw with him in this episode. So, Andre gets released from the police station almost immediately, and he has a huge welt on his face from being, from the brutality, and he heads to the office. Cookie and Lucius fawn all over him. They're furious, and there's this great scene where he's coming back, and he sees Rhonda there, and again, he's feeling guilty for Rhonda, and, I was really worried, I gotta say. This was the thing I was most worried about in this episode. I really did not want them to do a police brutality storyline, but honestly, I think they handled it pretty well in this episode, and that's mainly because this stuff happens to black people all the time. I mean, nowadays, you'll see police officers, they just hurt, and I don't like to get, really political or things like that, but it's a thing. I mean, you hear about it all the time, and I think the show actually handled it pretty well, because it really did show that this is a black family, and that this stuff is happening to them, and that they're not immune to these things, and that's something I do like seeing this season, is that this family, they're not completely indestructible. I mean, they do have weaknesses, and you're definitely seeing that. So Cookie and Lucius fawn all over him. They're furious. They think that he was racially profiled and that they only did this so they can get back at the cops. And they want to get back at the cops for some reason. But Andre wants them to just drop it. He shouts at them to stay out of it. And that's understandable. I mean, he really doesn't want to fight fire with fire. He feels the best thing to do is to just deal with what's going on. You know, there's not really much that they can do in this situation. I think even though they want to do stuff, there's really not much they can do. I mean, he was hurt for a reason. And unfortunately, while they want to take a strike at them, it's not really their battle to fight. This is Andre's battle to fight. He's the one that needs to strike, and he clearly doesn't want to. And I thought it was very interesting to see. I really am liking where his plot is going so far. And like I said, I was worried about where it was headed, but I definitely was more pleased by the outcome than I thought it was going to be. So Tariq is still busy trying to build a case against Lucius. He's following Tiana's new boyfriend, Graham. He actually used to be running with an Uptown gang, and Tariq is one of his guys corner Graham during Tiana's show to try and get info from him. And inside, Hakeem is not happy to see Graham, especially when he jumps on stage with Tiana, starts throwing some serious shade at Hakeem. And again, I'm really not liking Hakeem this season. I don't know why he's all of a sudden jealous of Tiana's boyfriend. They weren't a couple to begin with. He hasn't been into her. He liked Laura. I don't know why all of a sudden he has these feelings for Tiana. They seem to come out of nowhere. I don't know why they're back here. Tiana treated Laura like shit, you know, last season. I really don't know why he's acting this way towards Tiana. I mean, he's acting like he's liked her all this time when really all they had was a small fling so he could get closer to her mother. I don't know why all of a sudden he likes her. Hakeem stuff continues to really bother me, I have to say. It really just seems like they don't know what to do with him this season. A more interesting arc would be him getting manipulated by Shine, and Shine basically telling him to do all this stuff. But no, this is all on Hakeem's terms, and it's really starting to piss me off, I have to say. So Hakeem storms out. He wants to fight Graham. Jamal tries to talk some sense into him, and I do like that Jamal is trying to help him here. But Lucius interrupts with his own advice. He wants Hakeem to drop a diss track and hit Graham where it hurts. And obviously, I know that Lucius focuses on the music, but come on, really, like that's the best you can do. It is by. I mean, yes, there's been diss tracks, but at the same time, I just thought this was dumb. I really did. I just felt like he could have gone a much more interesting direction with Hakeem, and they're really not doing it. It really seemed like last season they were trying to make him more mature and more adult, and now it seemed like he's really regressed, I have to say. And that's one of the only few complaints I've had with this season. He really does feel like he has regressed, though. I mean, I really was liking that Hakeem, you know, he wanted to be a father for Anika's child, and he wanted to be there. He wanted to be a genuine, good husband to Laura, and now that it seems that Laura's gone and Anika's with Lucius, now it seems like Hakeem suddenly is back to his old ways, and I don't really know how we got here, honestly. I feel like we could have gone this much more interesting direction with him, and they're really not, you know, utilizing him as well as they are. And the actor that plays him, he's Bre-Z. He's not bad. He's a good actor overall, and not Bre-Z, that's who plays Freed. I'm trying to think of who plays him. But he's a good actor overall, and I wish that they'd be utilizing him more because he really is not suited in, you know, just doing this. I really think they could do more with him. So the next day, Cookie has surprise. She takes Jamal to where Kitty is rehearsing, played by Mariah Carey, who was nice to see her in this episode. Jamal's honored to be in the presence of such a diva, and this I liked. Again, they're using the guest stars actually for a good reason. They're not just randomly, oh, it's Mariah Carey. There's a genuine reason why they have Mariah Carey here. You know, basically, Jamal is starstruck to see her. Even more shocked when Kitty reveals that she wants to record a song with him, basically to pull him out of his misery. Because as we know, Jamal literally cannot perform. He performs, he hears the sound, you know, he hears the sound of a gunshot, and he just can't do it. So Jamal makes a deal with Lucius. He agrees to live stream him and Kitty's duet as long as his dad doesn't release the Black and White album, because he wants nothing to do with that album. He just wants to be able to perform with an icon, someone that he's looked up to, and I did like seeing Jamal get a bit starstruck over Kitty. I thought that was kind of fun to see. So Hakeem gets in the studio with Shine and starts working on his Graham diss track and Tiana's diss track. They want Nessa to sing the hook, but she refuses. She doesn't actually want to be a part of the drama, and that's what I do like seeing. I like seeing Nessa overall. Hakeem really should be with Nessa. Nessa seems to generally like Hakeem. It seems that these two actually could start something, and I really want to see these two get together because Nessa wants to stay away from the drama. You know, she just wants to record music. She wants to focus on the music, and I like that, but she's literally Laura 2.0. I mean, we're definitely seeing that. She's very much like Laura. Laura wanted to focus on the music. She wasn't in the sex of it at all. She was very innocent in that way. And yes, she eventually did have sex with Akeem, but she, in general, was just an innocent girl. And Nessa seems to be kind of the same way. She does want to be part of the drama. Shine roughs her up a bit in the studio. Nessa storms out, and obviously, Hakeem gets quite pissed because of the way that he's handling Nessa. So Cookie then heads to the Boys and Girls Club, and Angelo is not happy to see her. Actually, he's furious. He freaks out on her about Lucius sinking her claws into Zia, of course, his son, and well, not his son, but the kid that he's in that home with, and he just got a full ride to MIT. Zia doesn't need someone trying to turn him into a rapper right now. He's got a very bright future ahead of him. He doesn't need to be focusing on the music. Yes, he can focus on the music now, but right now he needs to be focused on MIT, and I definitely can get what he's going through, because I'm a senior right now, and I'm trying to decide, well, I know what college I'm going to, but, when you're a senior and you're going to college, you should be focused on going to that college. Don't focus on what comes after that. Focus on college. That needs to be your main focus, and I like seeing that Angelo wants him to focus on that. And again, Angelo in general, I am really liking this character, because he's someone who actually does seem to care about these people. He's not just there for the music, and he actually does want them to have good futures. I think Angelo is totally the person the Cookie needs, and I'm really liking what I'm seeing of this relationship so far, honestly. I really am liking it, and I think really this is exactly who I want Cookie to be with. And I really hope that he doesn't end up being like a Laz, where these two get together, something shady's going on with him. I really hope that's not the case, because I really want to like Angelo's character. I want to like this relation between these two, and I'm hoping that they do have a genuine relation, because right now there's nothing really all that shady about Angelo, honestly. There's nothing really that shady about him, and I'm worried that they are going to do something shady, because Empire loves to do that. I really hope they don't do that with him, because I'm liking this relationship overall, and I don't want them to fuck it up, because I really think he's the perfect guy for Cookie right now, honestly. I think that's exactly who she needs, and I really hope that they stick true to this and not fuck it up. So Andre heads to court with his lawyer. Hakeem and Jamal attend to show their support, and everyone is shocked. The judge announces that Andre's actually being charged with felony assault and assaulting a police officer, which he definitely did not do, but I thought that was honestly kind of a really good portrayal of that, because, like Lucius and Cookie said, it will be their word over his, and even though, he's still the black one in the situation, I think the way they handled that was pretty good there, and seeing Andre trying to handle this as diplomatically and just as professionally as possible, and then basically realize that he has no say over this. I mean, you're really starting to see Andre break, and that's something I've always liked about Andre, is that he's someone that doesn't just come in guns blazing. He tries to be very professional. He tries to be very restrained. He tries to be very mature about the situation, and now he's really in this, situation where he really can't control it. I mean, he's going to get blamed for something that he clearly did not do, and I really am liking where it's headed. I think this is definitely interesting with him overall. I definitely do feel bad for him. I'm looking forward to seeing where this is going to go. So, Lucius then picks up Jamal and his brothers from court in a limo, has the driver take them to one of the roughest neighborhoods in Chicago. They park the car. Lucius gives his son a powerful speech, how he used to think that they were just spoiled or gay or bipolar, and that was the problem. Now, he realizes he never should have moved them out of the hood, because now his sons have forgotten that they are black. And I get what Lucius is saying, that yeah, they need to be tough, and that's the reason why Lucius and Cookie are so tough, because they were raised in that street. They were raised in the streets. They were raised in that environment. They have that tough, edge to them. They really don't, though, and what it means to be a black man then is not really what it means to be a black man now. And Lucius shouts at them that they need to wake up before they become just another hashtag. And I thought it was interesting the way we saw that scene. But again, it really just seems like they're not really knowing what to do with Lucius. One second, you really like him. The next second, they're calling him a vampire. Like, I really can't figure out what they want us to think with Lucius right now. But Andre's furious. He hops out of the car. Jamal chases after him. Obviously, he had no idea this was going to happen. He didn't expect any of this to go down the way it did, and obviously he's quite pissed. So Hakeem then stands by Lucius. He pours himself a drink, tells the driver to take them back to the studio. He promises Lucius that he is going to love the track he's about to lay down. Hakeem's diss is actually extra foul. He doesn't use Nessa on the track, though. Instead, he actually remixes Tiana's song. And again, I thought that was really shallow of him to do. Hakeem, at least, I wished he would have at least included Nessa. I get that obviously Nessa didn't want to be a part of it, but I really want a genuine scene between Nessa and Hakeem, because that's who Hakeem should be with. That's who Hakeem should be falling for. because he likes someone like Laura, ergo he should like someone like Nessa, and I don't really know why he's falling for Tiana and not Nessa. It just feels really off to me. I don't know why they did this, really. Actually, I do know why. It's because Tiana's a main character. They need to give her something to do, because people complain that she had nothing to do last season and that she shouldn't be a main character. So I do like that they're giving her something to do. That doesn't mean that I like this arc, because I think it's dumb. I don't really know why they're doing that. I'm really not a fan of that at all. I mean, rarely have I ever liked a Tiana arc, honestly. They've never really given me something for me to really like with Tiana. The only Tiana arc I ever liked is when they didn't know what to use and they used Tiana. Those are the kind of arcs I do like. Most of the arcs they've done with Tiana, though, I've really despised, honestly. I like her character. I don't dislike the actress by any means, but I just really don't like most of the arcs she's in. It seems like she's just there to be a love triangle for Hakeem, and right now, at least, it doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't really make much sense to me why they're doing this. So Lucius tells Shine to get the song up on Extreme ASAP. He heads home to check on Anika and his mom. He finds Anika sitting in his office. She has a friend of hers under the desk. This guy who was dropping off a package earlier and was probably giving her oral sex. At least that's the impression that I got from it. Lucius chases him out of the house with a gun. Anika basks in her payback, and they wind up in this whole screaming match. She reminds him that she's not the one that needs this marriage. He is. From now on, Anika's going to do what she wants and when she wants, and if Lucius tries to stop her, then she's going to see it if they can both go down in flames. And I'm just not a fan of this, honestly. I don't really care about Lucius and Anika. I feel like there's really not anywhere we're going with this. It seems like the same thing every episode, and I get that Anika wants to actually be A&R, and she's not going to let Lucius tell her what to do. But at the same time, I don't really know if I'm rooting for Anika, really. I mean, after what happened with Rhonda and everything, they're not really giving me much reason to root for her, I have to say. I mean, yeah, she's retaliating against Lucius, but they're not really showing me the hell that she's going through. I mean, Lucius is kind of just treating her like he does everybody else, and I just really am not a fan of this, I have to say. So, I like the dynamic overall. I'm just not really liking where they're going with it. Maybe I'll like it more next week, but right now, I'm just not really liking it. So Jamal heads to the prison to see Frida for the first time since she shot him, and obviously it doesn't go as planned. You know, she tries to be very professional about it and just tries to say, you know, tries to bury the hatchets, and Jamal has a panic attack when he sees her, starts having flashbacks to the night that he was shot, and it's really hard, and I did like that scene between those two. I thought Frida was going to be the one to get him out of it, but it's just not really happening yet. You know, it doesn't seem like he can see her. So after prison, Jamal heads up his studio session with Kitty. They're live streaming the studio session on Extreme. Lucius is pleasantly surprised that Jamal actually starts singing, but it's only because he actually popped several painkillers before getting into the studio, and that got him to calm down. I really did love the song that Jamal and Kitty sang. I thought it was really good overall. So Lucius jokes to Cookie that their son is high as a kite, but she doesn't want to hear it, even though he knows it's true. You know, she doesn't want to hear anything about it. So Cookie then heads to Lucius' office afterwards, interrupts his meeting with Zia. She takes the contract that Zia is supposed to sign, rips it up. She promises Zia that he goes to school for 4 years. If he still wants to rap, then Empire will be happy to have him. And good for you, Cookie, honestly, to make a very smart decision like that. I was very happy to see that Cookie didn't listen to Lucius and that she did, in fact, you know, listen to Angelo overall, because Angelo's who she should be with and not Lucius, and also the fact that Zia should be focusing on college. That's where his focus should be, and I'm glad that she set his priorities straight and didn't try to go along with Lucius like she usually does. So in the lobby, Cookie finds Jamal upset. Apparently, Lucius still put his album up on Extreme. Fucking bastard. I don't know why he did that. He needed 5 songs. Why did that have to be one of them? After he promised not to, Lucius rubs in Cookie's face that it is not the black and white album, it's the black album now. And he took all the songs that Cookie produced off from it. Cookie sneers that if he wants to play, let's play. And I really am all for this coming back. I love this feud between these two. I love these two, against each other. This I'm all for, because there's actually something going on here. You know, Cookie actually doesn't want anything to do with him. She wants people to focus on, she cares about people, and Lucius clearly is just so focused on the music. He's so power hungry. He's so focused on the music, and it's really going to come to bite him in the ass, especially when we get to the end of the episode. This was really interesting. Andre's walking home at night. Tariq tracks him down. He knows all about Andre's arrest and brags that Andre's never going to get out of prison time. Andre puts 2 and 2 together and realizes that Tariq had something to do with his arrest, we find out. And Andre scoffs that there's no way he's getting to rat at his father to get the charges dropped, and that's the reason why. What he's trying to do is he's going to try to make Andre, guilty, so he will basically get Lucius back in prison because he knows he rightfully belongs there. So Tariq gloats, he bids Andre farewell, farewell, and we don't really know where this is going. An interesting way to end the episode, but that is the way the episode ends overall. Let's get into this episode so I can talk about my thoughts of what I thought of it. So overall, I thought this was a much better episode than last week's. Not that last week's was bad, it's just last week's really was very slow and it didn't really go anywhere. This episode, actually, a lot is going down. Let's talk about Andre, because I really don't know where this Tariq thing is going, but I do like that Tariq, again, is looking for their best interests. He's there to put Lucius behind bars because that is where he rightfully belongs. The only reason Lucius got out of prison, as we know, is because the judge, we found out, was all in that scandal. And Lucius definitely does, deserve to be behind bars. And I am positive this season is going to end with him in jail. I mean, there's really no other way. I mean, the fact that they're making us, hate Lucius as much as they are, everyone's going against Lucius, this is going to be the season where Lucius goes to jail. That definitely is going to happen. And hopefully it happens at the end of the season, not the midpoint of the season, because that'd really be annoying if they did that. But I really am interested in seeing if Andre is going to end up working with Tariq. How far is Tariq willing to go? What's Tariq going to do? I'm really interested in seeing this overall, and I definitely think overall that's definitely going to be very interesting to see what happens there. I am all for the Cookie versus Lucius feud we have going on right now, because Lucius really isn't looking for everyone's best interest. He's doing what he thinks is best for him. He's focused on the music. Like I said, he's way too power hungry right now, and Cookie actually is caring about people. She actually does seem to, she actually does seem to genuinely, want to help people and look for their best interests at heart, but he really isn't. He's focused on the music, and I don't know really where this is going, but I like that a lot more than whatever's going on with Anika and Lucius. I just really am not a fan of it. I don't really care. I mean, yes, I like, that someone is turning against Lucius, but I just don't really care about Anika right now. They've done so much with her that she can't really be a victim. I mean, she killed Rhonda, and there's going to be a lot, there's a lot they have to do to get me to like her, because I just really am not liking her character lately, I have to say. I just think she's gotten a lot more bitchy, and I'm just kind of annoying, I have to say. I do like where they're headed with Jamal, though. I'm liking that Jamal was able to sing with Kitty, but as we know, he is on painkillers right now. So is he going to start going on painkillers, and maybe that's going to help him? And I think Frida, it does look like next week he is going to try to meet up with Frida again, and maybe they will make amends. I mean, Frida definitely seems like she does want to make amends, because it was accidental. She didn't mean to shoot Jamal, she meant to shoot Lucius, and I think definitely that's going to be a very interesting encounter, the way that that's going to go. I'm looking forward to seeing the way that all turns out. Hakeem and Tiana, I don't know why this is going the way it is, honestly. I think it's really annoying overall. Hakeem should be with Nessa. Nessa is the person that Hakeem should be with. If he likes someone like Laura, he should like Nessa. I don't understand why he's going to Tiana. There's nothing really that special about her. They never had a relationship to begin with. I don't know why he's really going to her now. It just feels very strange, and I don't really know where that's going, but we'll have to see overall. I'm hoping that he realizes that Nessa really is who he should be with, and that, what Shine is doing to Nessa, I think is interesting. They're definitely setting up some interesting stuff between them. It's just where Hakeem is, that's why I'm not really into it. I want to like Shine's character, and I do like Shine as a character. They really did show how far Shine is going, and what he's, willing to do, and also how he's so against Lucius right now, but I don't really know where they're going with this, honestly. It seemed like they were going a Shine versus Lucius thing, and we really haven't gone there yet. Granted, it's episode 3, but I don't really know where they're headed with this. I do like that we are a little more slow-paced this season, definitely. It doesn't seem like we're as full speed ahead, and I really do like that. It always seems like every episode of Empire, they cram so much into an episode, and don't get me wrong, they did cram a lot in this episode, but it was a very focused episode. It wasn't like they had a bunch of plots and then they just didn't really go anywhere. It actually seems like this is going somewhere. It seems like we are actually going a little bit slower, and I like that. Empire does not need to go full speed ahead, and that was its biggest problem last season, that they did way too many things within an episode. I mean, if you guys remember, there was that episode where you had, I can't remember her name right now, what was her name? Carmel, it's something like that. You guys know I'm talking about. That villain, she came back and then she died in the next episode. That's not what I want them to do. I like that they were taking their time with this. It definitely seems like they're going a bit slower, and I think it's really working for their benefit. They have 18 episodes. Try to stretch it out. Don't do so much in an episode, and I think that's really the right thing for them to do so far. Overall, guys, I'm really enjoying the season. Let me know what you guys thought of this episode overall. Sorry it took me so long to review this episode. I meant to review it back on Thursday, but I actually fell asleep, and I never got to watch it. But I will see you guys in my next video, which will be for one of two things. It will either be for Designated Survivor, which if I don't review that, it means I'm done with the show, because I don't really know if I'm going to continue that show, or it'll be for finally the series premiere of Big Brother Over the Top. I promise you guys I will be watching that, and I will see you guys for that. Okay, bye.